a WikiVidi Documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Figure skating. Figure skating is a sport in which individuals, duos, or groups perform on figure skates on ice. It was the first winter sport included in the Olympics, in 1908. The four Olympic disciplines are men's singles, ladies' singles, pair skating, and ice dancing. Non-Olympic disciplines include synchronized skating and force skating. From novice through senior level competition, skaters generally perform two programs which, depending on the discipline, may include spins, jumps, moves in the field, lifts, throw jumps, death spirals, and other elements or moves. The blade has a groove on the bottom creating two distinct edges, inside and outside. Judges prefer that skaters glide on one edge of the blade and not on both at the same time, which is referred to as a flat edge. During a spin, skaters use the sweet spot of the blade, formerly called a rocker, which is the roundest portion of the blade, just behind the pick, and near the middle of the blade. Skates used in single and pair skating have a set of large, jagged teeth called toe picks on the front of the blade. Toe picks are mainly used for the takeoff on jumps. Ice dancing blades are an inch shorter in the rear and have smaller toe picks. Figure skaters compete at various levels from beginner up to the Olympic level at local, regional, national, and international competitions. The International Skating Union regulates international figure skating judging and competitions. These include the Winter Olympics, the World Championships, the World Junior Championships, the European Championships, the Four Continents Championships, the Grand Prix Series, and the ISU Challenger Series. The sport is also associated with show business. Major competitions generally conclude with exhibition galas, in which the top skaters from each discipline perform non-competitive programs. Many skaters, both during and after their competitive careers, also skate in ice shows which run during the competitive season and the off-season. Terminology. The term professional in skating refers not to skill level, but competitive status. Figure skaters competing at the highest levels of international competition are not professional skaters. They are sometimes referred to as amateurs, though some earn money. Professional skaters include those who have lost their ISU eligibility and those who perform only in shows. They may include former Olympic and world champions who have ended their competitive career, as well as skaters with little or no international competitive experience. In languages other than English, Japanese, Korean, Chinese, Italian, Polish, and Russian, figure skating is usually referred to by a name that translates as artistic skating. Figure skates. The most visible difference in relation to ice hockey skates is that figure skates have a set of large, jagged teeth called toe picks on the front part of the blade. The toe picks are used primarily in jumping and should not be used for stroking or spins. If used during a spin, the toe pick will cause the skater to lose momentum or move away from the center of his or her spin. Blades are mounted to the sole and heel of the boot with screws. Typically, high-level figure skaters are professionally fitted for their boots and blades at a reputable skate shop. Professionals are also employed to sharpen blades to individual requirements. Blades are about 3/16 inch thick. When viewed from the side, the blade of a figure skate is not flat, but curved slightly, forming an arc of a circle with a radius of. This curvature is referred to as the rocker of the blade. The sweet spot of the blade is below the ball of the foot. This spot is usually located near the stanchion of the blade, and is the part of the blade where all spins are spun on. The blade is also hollow ground. A groove on the bottom of the blade creates two distinct edges, inside and outside. The inside edge of the blade is on the side closest to the skater. The outside edge of the blade is on the side farthest from the skater. In figure skating, it is always desirable to skate on only one edge of the blade. Skating on both at the same time may result in lower skating skills scores. The apparently effortless power and glide across the ice exhibited by elite figure skaters fundamentally derives from efficient use of the edges to generate speed. Ice dancers' blades are about an inch shorter in the rear than those used by skaters in other disciplines, to accommodate the intricate footwork and close partnering in dance. Dancers' blades also do not have the large toe pick used for jumping. Hard plastic skate guards are used when the skater must walk in his or her skates when not on the ice. The guard protects the blade from dirt or material on the ground that may dull the blade. Soft blade covers called soakers are used to absorb condensation and protect the blades from rust when the skates are not being worn. In competition, skaters may have 3 minutes to make repairs to their skates. Off-ice training is the term for physical conditioning that takes part off the ice. Besides regular physical exercise, skaters do walkthroughs of jumps off the ice in order to practice sufficient rotation and height of their jumps, and to practice consistency and landing on one foot. Ice rinks and rink equipment. There is significant variation in the dimensions of ice rinks. Olympic-sized rinks have dimensions of 30x, NHL-sized rinks are 26x, while European rinks are sometimes 30x. The International Skating Union prefers Olympic-sized rinks for figure skating competitions, particularly for major events. According to ISU Rule 342, a figure skating rink for an ISU event, if possible, shall measure 60 meters in one direction and 30 meters in the other, but not larger, and not less than 56 meters in one direction and 26 meters in the other. The scoring system rewards skaters who have good ice coverage, i.e. who efficiently cover the entire ice surface during their programs. Olympic-sized rinks make the differences in skill between skaters more apparent, but they are not available for all events. If a rink has different dimensions, a skater's jump setup and speed may be hindered as he or she adjusts. Ice quality is judged by smoothness, friction, hardness, and brittleness. Factors affecting ice quality include temperature, water quality, and usage, with topics causing more deterioration. For figure skating, an ice temperature of 24 degrees Fahrenheit is generally preferred. Typically after every 2 warm-up groups, an ice resurfacer cleans and smooths the surface of the ice sheet. Inadequate ice quality may affect skaters' performances. Some rinks use harness systems to help skaters learn new jumps in a controlled manner. The ice rink installs a heavy-duty cable that is securely attached to 2 walls of the rink. A set of pulleys ride on the cable. The skater wears a vest or belt that has a cable or rope attached to it. That cable/rope is threaded through the movable pulley on the cable above. The coach holds the other end of the cable and lifts the skater by pulling the cable/rope. The skater can then practice the jump, with the coach assisting the completion. Olympic disciplines. Olympic sports in figure skating comprise the following disciplines: the 4 disciplines of men's singles, ladies' singles, pair skating, and ice dancing also appeared as part of a team event for the first time at the 2014 Winter Olympics. Elements and moves. Each element receives a score according to its base value and grade of execution, resulting in a combined technical elements score. At competitions, a technical specialist identifies each element. Elements may be assigned a level of difficulty, ranging from B to level 4. A panel of judges determines Go, ranging from +3 to 3, based on how well the skaters execute the elements. The Go is weighted according to the element's base value. The ISU defines a fall as a loss of control, with the result that the majority of the skater's body weight is not on the blade, but supported by hands, knees, or buttocks. Jumps. Jumps involve the skater leaping into the air and rotating rapidly to land after completing 1 or more rotations. There are many types of jumps, identified by the way the skater takes off and lands, as well as by the number of rotations that are completed. Each jump receives a score according to its base value and grade of execution. Quality of execution, technique, height, speed, flow, and ice coverage are considered by the judges. An under-rotated jump, which became mandatory at all international competitions in 2006, including the 2006 Winter Olympics. The new system is often informally referred to as the Code of Points. However, the ISU has never used the term to describe their system in any of their official communications. Under the system, points are awarded individually for each skating element, and the sum of these points is the total element score. Competitive programs are constrained to have a set number of elements. Each element is judged first by a technical specialist who identifies the specific element and determines its base value. The technical specialist uses instant replay video to verify things that distinguish different elements, and more. The exact foot position, a takeoff and landing of a jump, The decision of the technical specialist determines the base value of the element. A panel of 12 judges then each award a mark for the quality and execution of the element. This mark is called the grade of execution, that is an integer from -3 to +3. The Go mark is then translated into another value by using the table of values in ISU Rule 322. The Go value from the 12 judges is then processed with a computerized random selection of 9 judges, then discarding the high and low value, and finally averaging the remaining 7. This average value is then added to the base value to get the total value for the element. The program component's score awards points to holistic aspects of a program or other nuances that are not rewarded in the total element score. The components are. The only exception is the compulsory dance, which has no choreography or transition marks, because the steps are preset. A detailed description of each component is given in ISU Rule 322.2. Judges award each component a raw mark from 0 to 10 in increments of 0.25, with a mark of 5 being defined as average. For each separate component, the raw marks are then selected, trimmed, and averaged in a manner akin to determining a grade of execution. The trimmed mean scores are then translated into a factored mark by multiplying by a factor that depends on the discipline, competition segment, and level. Then the 5 factored marks are added to give the final piece's score. The total element score and the program component's score are added to give the total score for a competition segment. A skater's final placement is determined by the total of their scores in all segments of a competition. No ordinal rankings are used to determine the final results. Other judging and competition. There are also skating competitions organized for professional skaters by independent promoters. These competitions use judging rules set by whoever organizes the competition. There is no professional league. Well-known professional competitions in the past have included the World Professional Championships, the Challenge of Champions, the Canadian Professional Championships and the World Professional Championships. The Ice Skating Institute, an international ice rink trade organization, runs its own competitive and test program aimed at recreational skaters. Originally headquartered in Minnesota, the organization now operates out of Dallas, Texas. Icy competitions are open to any member that have registered their tests. There are very few qualifying competitions, although some districts hold gold competitions for that season's first place winners. Icy competitions are especially popular in Asian countries that do not have established ISU member federations. The Gay Games have also included skating competitions for same-gender pairs and dance couples under icy sponsorship. Other figure skating competitions for adults also attract participants from diverse cultures and sexual orientations. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?